All right, welcome to the program. My name is Abman Kota, and you are watching the TPN TV and Radio Network coming to you live from the United States of America. Today, we get Mr. Jesmed Suma. We all know Jesmed Suma on social media, and Naman, we've been on this program for a couple times. And Naman, we always they make audios about, mostly about the economy, that's alone, and Jesmed Suma can get a fiery storm because it makes some analysis on these projects, the Lungi Bridge way. The president just don't announce it. They don't get investments where they can do the Lungi Bridge. And this is now a very important topic where we want to discuss today, because at the end of the day, we want to make, we discuss the pros and cons of this Lungi Bridge construction. And Mr. Jesmed Suma pull out some audios trying to analyze why he feels the Lungi Bridge, whether which are the pros and which are the cons. And a lot of SLPP became very, very agitated and go after him. A lot of people that they attack him, but you know, the TPN TV want for when something like this happens, just like waiting the time when the toll gates projects been come on, we bring so many people therefore can discuss the pros and cons of that toll gate day. So this is another way, one way or the other, it get for affect the country in a big way. So Mr. Jesmed Suma, thank you very much for coming on the program.
Thank you for having me, my friend.
So okay, based on your own audio where you pull out, you say you're not actually there against the Lungi Bridge, right?
Yes.
So tell me exactly what's your concern.
Huh?
Tell me exactly.
I make that clear. Now, as I said in the audio, I'm not there against the bridge. And everybody else in Salon, we don't do for long. Don't they hear about this Lungi Bridge, don't they agitate for this Lungi Bridge? No go there against the bridge. The only thing we make me not support the bridge now because it seems for be shrouded into some secrecy we don't know they tell we. Some of we know waiting at the procedures them where every government and every institution they go through, wherein they undertake any multi-billion-dollar project like the YSO. This is $2.1 billion. Now 50% of the entire country in your own annual wealth, what they call GDP, what would they produce every year? Now less than 4 billion. Now 3.8 billion right now. During an escrow time, it been go up to 4 billion, 4.5 billion. But right now, it's around 3.8 billion. Now in the guy, they can say, let we undertake a project when at 2 billion, when at over 50% of we own national GDP. Now, the question is, how then come up with that figure there? When then they undertake any project of this nature, massive multi-billion-dollar project, then they always make sure they do series of different types of studies. Then they start with feasibility studies, then they do environmental studies, then they create a concept plan. After they don't do all the studies then get a preliminary design, then prepare what they call project report, a detailed project report, and then they present. Then they take up a multi-billion-dollar project where they outlive not only the term of office, because in term of office they can end now 2023, that's not politics now, but then they outlive their lifetime. None of the other power they will live for the more than another 50 or 100 years. And this is a bridge will go there for over 50 to 100 and more years. Then they undertake that kind of project there. They not consult other stakeholders. They not consult other political parties. Them. What if the next party where they can take over in 2023 kick them out and say, no, this project we need for scrutinize them? Why they go ahead with this kind of vengeance? That this is my own opinion now. Then they go ahead with this kind of vengeance because in most countries them around the world, the most corrupt states them, part of the heartbeat of the corruption, na infrastructural development. Because under infrastructural development, you're able to siphon millions and millions of dollars. And people that way understand about they kind of technical issues they are relating to construction, not to me or me, not to that kind of technical person. Me. I call them 2-3 people, I question and I ask them. None of them now make a conclusion, say, this particular wire, Natiwe makes sense. They all get doubt. $2.1 billion. Now, with all this, where we criticize and Eskuroma and Mamama, what you call them, airport, because it's been too expensive, $300 million. This wire now 7 Mamama airport you go able for bill. That small bridge there no more. 7 Mamama airport. Now in this bridge here, in money go able for bill. Now then they claim say not to debt. Then they claim say they cost me nothing. Then they claim say now some kind of dumb investors that they come up from somewhere around the world. They can pour $2 billion into a poor country like Salone, where they constitute 50% of the GDP, because then tell them say then go able for run the thing for 25 years and be able to recover the money. But they are then go do the math again. Even if they get a 5% return on investment, 5% return on investment. If you do the calculation, I don't get the numbers in front of me, so they lift them off head. Then go need for begin for raise at least $11.6 million every day. I able for raise $11.6 million every day for 25 years. For let go able for generate that kind of money there. So what now the interest rate for 5% interest rate number for $2 billion is over $1.5 billion. So by the time the entire project go done, assuming say they're going for raise that kind of money there every year, now $3.5 billion out of the $2.1 billion. Just do that mathematics there no more. If you put 5% interest on the money where they I think that's not how we get the loan. We assume say the people that wake out with the money, then go take the loans on side. Even if not their own money, they let's say not to loan and take. Then self go on for invest and let them get money, profit, not also.
Yep.
And they assume say them go able for the worst case scenario, them go able for generate 5% interest. Where 5% interest and go able to generate that one then any other less risky environment around the world, other investment, and they would then go able to make that kind of money there inside 5 to 10 years. But for that they can't tie them up to a 25-year project because they say that they build, own, transfer, and
Mr. Suma,
operate and transfer.
Yeah, let's ask you a question. They don't already say na 25 years, or they don't actually put any kind of a time limit for them people to have their money?
They put a piece of document where they will fly around and say they will operate for 25 years or 50 years. I don't know what the exact 25 years. They will operate for 25 years, then and transfer the ownership to Salone government.
So this is getting very interesting. So why the SLPP? Because of some of them here where it talks away, it make a lot of sense economically. Why the SLPP then decide for go after you?
Well, because when let me tell you something. If you want to know, say you don't hit somebody well, wait and see the reaction. If you don't hit them well, then go sit down and don't go care yourself. But once you hit them, then go react and go attack you with vengeance. But you get to understand, say, I want to let everybody understand this way also. Are they sorry for their SLPP members then? Because they self, then they moon the loss of their party. They don't lost their party. They don't get party anymore. The SLPP party, no, they exist. These are politics that they talk now. So what thing then they do now? Then get them half-baked SLPP members, they will then frustrate. Then they look for opportunity now for let them go attack people like we, so that the Paupanista will look and say, they don't go for faith for we. Lord bring the Kenya. Now that's not their dream. Then the dream say the Paupanista, they will don't hijack their own SLPP party, go kind of begin for recognize them by their voice. Then they cannot respond to them. Because some of them are non-entities, are not even pay heed to them. They're sorry one day sooner. So man, the moon right now, they don't get party.
So
Paupanista, they don't control the party.
So let we talk the real figure here. $2.1 billion in 25 years, and you believe say feasible? That's something where actually a reality, or maybe is it because the SLPP just they try for paint this smoke screen on the particular contract where we will not see it, but this $2.1 billion in 25 years. Outside people then go able to make 11 to 12 million a day.
Let's say you my own assumption. This assumption, based on fact. My own assumption is that the actual project not cost 2.1 billion. Maybe the most now $1 billion. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like 2.1 billion, they know say the numbers, they know they correspond. There is no way they're going to make that money back in 25 years. But if they make it like $1 billion it cost, then they raise and say 25 billion, or say 2.1 billion. At least by the time you go 10 years, 15 years, they don't recover 1 billion. Then they will begin negotiate now for the balance we left. That time the Papanista, they now where they make this particular agreement. Some man will not get 10 million, some man will get 5 million, some man will get 20 million, some man will get 30 million, some man will get 50 million. Then the rest of the 500 or 600 million, they wait money and they enjoy and away. Then when they die now, we begin to suffer. For begin for negotiate that time now, we will pay that toll. They tell we great Ghanaian then. Well, we great Ghan picking the way they come on. Then they die. They never pay that toll.
Yeah.
Full with food.
Well, I pull out an audio earlier when I read this thing and I say, well, let's say not true $2.1 billion. Why for go put up one project like that one day? Why would not they use let's say that money they for build other airports there around the country, renovate Lungi, buy brand new 2 or 3 brand new ferries them. Then the balance you build other airports them around the country like McKinney, Bo, Kenema, Maburuka, Kono, all them things, and that also they generate. In fact, they generate more income quickly than that bridge. What do you think about that?
Not only the generation, when they do that kind of project, they get what they call cost benefit analysis.
Yeah.
In the case of a government, they also do the social and economic benefit analysis, both in terms of the income where they generate and both in terms of the benefits where go socially for the people in the community. Now, if that's not the issue, if that's not the main objective where you go able to take some of them here, the social and economic benefit for the nation, there anything then at this country right now way powerful, way more impactful than electricity. Now every village they can Ghana and other countries they do that like Rwanda. If they put 1.2 billion, it will build the electricity infrastructure across the entire Sierra Leone. Every village, Makota whose village you come out.
I come on my line to Nayoni.
Oh man, you need electricity. I want to let somebody will come out now some kind of remote corner. Not alone. Tell me the village will come out and know say electricity will go inside this $2 billion. Now if everybody don't know say he get access to electricity in a village, now you tell me ba. You sabi the thousands and thousands of Sierra Leoneans around the world where go open small factory in that village there. We don't go worry about fleet on say we go open some kind of a small business in that village there. We go every move you build your mansion and relax because you know say you go get in satellite they watching TV this and that electricity there. You go for open well you shop this kind of shop that kind of a shop granite way name shop peanut butter coconut milk then one time we get coconut plantation. You go open small factory there where go cost again $50,000-$100,000. You build a hole and they make coconut milk, coconut powder, coconut oil out of coconut them. Plenty food in the will get to that country there. We'll go able for express. It go 10 times, 1,000 times the benefit way and electricity across the entire nation will bring up than just having a bridge across from Lungi. Now the issue of the bridge, now solution is the solve. We can't overlook that. So what is the solution now? What are the cost-effective solution? The cost-effective solution. The last time they say you can take 20 million, but let's say we lift that up to $50 million. $50 million, you go buy four latest version ferry them, latest modern ferry,
Yep.
classic ferry, 4 of the one and day.
Yeah.
Then you buy 4 50-seater buses them. We go run that Lungi back and forth today, go address that problem they fix completely. So I will take $2.1 billion expenditure for solve a 50 million problem. Who says that they make? $50 million will solve that Lungi issue problem temporarily until we get electricity and we get train service across the country that will go take the bridge. as the next project.
Well, what
Now,
I want to let people to understand is people are not against constructing a bridge. Now the cost and benefits now in the problem, you know. So let people to understand that say it's not about constructing a bridge. Why if we go construct a $2.1 billion bridge where you able resolve that same problem with 50 or even $100 million dollars? You know, that's not the problem that one day. And the other thing where I also want to make you talk about, because we know say every contract, especially a huge contract like this where people them investors in the Canada country, especially a third world country, they just can't say, okay, now we can't do this, we take care of that until we get to money. Then therefore get a collateral in case something happen, because I don't say the Africa is not stable, so they don't say anything can broke out, right? So what's in the collateral?
Now, let's tell you that two things where I want let people understand. No stranger know they come up from any part of the world. You go to anybody in country, you go dictate to them say, now this me want do. No, and the country will define your own priority. They tell them say this are the things that were more priority, were urgent for we. Because this government had a focus on bridge, it is she said this is a misdirection of the new direction. They don't get a sense. They don't get a sense of priority at all. Because any government will get a sense of priority. You don't go look people in hospitality, where hospital, the people in they die because they don't get access to medical facilities. You ignore the one day. You don't go look the country and they're in darkness and there's no electricity. You ignore the one day. You don't go look the issue that over 2,035 people in the die and they wrote them. Where we get at the country. Where it go possible for spend that same money there for build train service. You overlook that one day. You say that 12.1 billion day, you go can't put on train service, on bridge. That means the people have not lost their sense of direction. Now, because the government presents to them, the investors, they say, these are your most important priority right now. Now that makes the investors and now bridge they focus on. But the investors are not full. They're not full at all. Investors them, they look at so many risk factors, from financial risk, political risk, construction risk, a whole lot of risk. And when you consider the fact that this Paupanista government don't show an example how a government in kind of power overnight, you know, they respect all the agreement the way the previous government don't make. Now they don't demonstrate out to the world. They don't demonstrate out to the world. So they don't set that example there. They can cancel 2-3 contracts then where the APC government be done with name. Although we have agreed the fact that say some of them contracts and they're not being prepared them in good faith, so there must be reason for the way them. But because you don't set that precedence there, which investor with the right mind will come back and invest by you? You, the person, will not respect constitution. You, the president, will not respect the country law. You, the president, now you, then go expect, say, you go can't make agreement, you go respect, and then you expect the next government, so they can in 2023, go respect that contract there. They not get guarantee. I like that one.
Well, Mr. Suma, let me ask you a question.
So the guarantees that we can ask for.
Let me ask you a question, because I see some kind of hypocrisy here. I remember exactly when the SLPP came to power about a year ago. The first thing they talked about was the debts where the government of Anesbai Koroma take. Okay, we know say me at the bet me life I know say there is a collateral for say yes where if the government don't sign this project there is a collateral for say in case of anything happen at that country there. The government for take responsibility of that debt there. Even though right now the investors there they get for take care of everything. The government don't they put money there, but that collateral is not concerned. So let's say okay, technically we are responsible for that money there in case something happens. Is it not hypocrisy for go trust $2 billion in one project less than a year, but you come in and criticize somebody where trust less than $2 billion in 11 years, almost 11 years? So is that not hypocrisy?
Of course, the hypocrisy, but the argument when they put forward is that this not a debt that they take. So the debt not in the government in head. Now the investors them, and they go take debt.
So
Okay, invest
the one
na
for
the
telling you
project
say
also.
there is no collateral at all if something up here in the United States is stable.
No, that's why they not lie, but now one can't so, now one can't so.
Okay.
That collateral side there. So usually, then get what in and call sovereign guarantee. Except now $50 million where somebody one can invest in your country. For a country where fragile like this, for a country where get political hiccups where they go on, where they beat political opponents them, for a country where they respect the constitution, for a country where they respect the laws them, for a country where the government they go impose a speaker at the parliament against the constitution of the country, which investor with in right mind go look, he puts $2 billion inside that country, they not get guarantees. Go. Now, full man never go believe that one day.
It don't make
Then
sense.
get what in called sovereign guarantee.
Yeah.
So the people that want to go take the loan, then go can the government sign that sovereign guarantee day. Now that sovereign guarantee day, now they use as the way for raise the money or can finance the project. Now when then they finance the project, sovereign guarantee means it affects the country in credit rating. So if Salon ready for go take loan other side, then go check how much loan he already get from the previous debt then. The other two then go check what not the sovereign guarantee and they don't provide. It's just like when they co-sign for you picking self or you co-sign for somebody, they go take loan.
Yeah.
The loan not to you can't do. The loan not to the person you go. But now co-sign the co-sign. If that person did not pay that loan they pay, that country they suffer, yeah. So then fly by night investors there where they cancel. When they go take that loan day, then take that loan day on the backs of Salon names. If they not pay the loan back to the people where they take the loan from,
Salon
the loan people that are document and they go and present them to World Bank and IMF, then slap up on Salon. That's the company and don't go now. So mango don't go Sudan and Las Palmas or outside and they enjoy the millions of don't see Spanish project here. So we're picking and they can't suffer. But like that one day.
Oh, now bring in people because I know see a lot of people that they're very eager for coming to the program. The one that they listen to win at the radio, this at the Tpn TV and radio network, we discuss the Lungi Bridge construction, where the president announced they don't secure an investor where they come for can do them thing and they. Let me start with Mr. Abdul. Hold on, let me see if I'll say if.
No, but before I go to Mr. Abdul, I want to make 2 points clear.
Okay, go ahead.
Please. Earlier, I've been saying, I don't know if they're supposed for the need for able to raise $11.5 million every day. No, enough for be every day. Now $11.6 million every month. $11.6 million every month.
Yeah.
Now they supposed for raise in 25 years for let them go able to recover the money with 5% interest. And the interest alone are $1.5 billion dollars. $1.5 billion, that's not the interest. So 1.5 billion plus 2.1 billion, that's now $3.6 billion. Now Salon will go for pay the people and back. $3.6 billion. Now Salon will go for pay the people and back. Assuming, say, they take 5% interest. Now like the one day, it's not 8 or 10% interest. Then they go take out of this wire. So the second thing where I want to make correction to is the fact that say if them Paul Panista had a claim say this wire no they cost alone nothing, and they challenge them, let them publish the loan agreement or let them show to members of parliament. Even if they do them in secrecy, they get a committee in a parliament who comprise of representatives of different political parties, and they challenge them. If them believe say Salon no get nothing for pay on this wire, so let them present them document the day, let the members of parliament and see them. And the two challenges that they put for them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, everybody will understand how governments did in dealings with investors, foreign investors for that matter. No, say there is always protection for their loans. Then and you the sovereign states now you get for give that protection day. So something happen, they pay that loan day, even though. You not get for put anything up front, so you get for pay that loan day. So that's not the way we know. Now let me go to Mr. Abdul. Mr. Abdul, if you get question for Jesmed, okay, go ahead and ask the question.
Okay, Mr. Jesmed, thank you. I know say you begin by saying the retire on your position as a citizen, not on speaking on behalf of NGC. Well, let me go on the last point. You think this is something you go recommend to the member of parliament for NGC we did it now, based on what you just said, the last sentence, which say that they get for present something in parliament and something where the parliament for demand. You think the young teller and the NGC member them for demand that this thing becomes transparent and that it has to come through parliament and then anybody that, and will you recommend to your members of parliament to vote against this? Oh, and that if them vote in favor of this bridge, do you think a mistake or will you continue your membership to the party?
No, I will continue my membership to the party. Hey, the one issue no go shake my membership because it's about the party principle. Our party is a liberal, progressive political party where they focus on providing the safety, social safety net for the people, especially the poor, to address the needs of the poor and the party labor. But with respect to this question as to whether I will recommend for members of parliament and for vote against her, no. I will recommend say let the members of parliament insist on transparency and clarity of understanding of what is involved within this contract also. If they see say there is something fishy where no go bind the country into whatever, let them vote against them. If they clear say the thing no go cost, I just don't want you to imagine that one day say. There is no way this thing no go cost alone. No, not even way them down. So it is obvious that the way me go continue to advocate against anybody na parliament not for vote for this year so until we know all the facts.
All right. You get a follow-up question before I go to the next person?
No, my only concern is I just want, since you don't say so, and your members of parliament no go don't read them, then vote for on them, and then later you change your stand based on Yom Keller and NGC members in parliament. We say, look, Jesmed, we've studied this thing, we've looked at it, we look at the pros and the cons. This is advantageous to Sierra Leone, and yet the government and the taxpayers of Sierra Leone will not be responsible for this. If you leave the matter to rest then, or until your satisfaction reach.
No. I'm not going to be there for you until my own satisfaction. I trust with members of parliament. I trust with parliamentary leader Dr. Kade Kolonyi Ubukela in opinion. If he review the document, he come out say yes, I have reviewed the document, I am satisfied that it is true that this is not going to cost Sierra Leone anything as the APC, as the Paupanistas are talking about, and then we get other members of parliament from the APC get a relevance to parliament. They have the same opinion. Of course, we will accept them. So tell them, they don't play some kind of magic we don't know about. We will accept them. Because if this was miracles over NO. So tell them, SLPP don't count some kind of miracles. Where somebody, some benevolent investor will count $2.1 billion, they can't pour it out alone. You don't get no guarantees. Yeah. I go see who said that miracle they go come out.
All right. Well, let me go to Mr. Kabo. Mr. Kabo, go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon, fellow listeners. This is Nakagbo from New York. I actually want to ask a question too or so, but I'm still in the stage of where I don't know where Suma is now, Mr. Suma, whether he's more political or to make analysis on the issue of the 2.1 billion. I see he's going from one direction to the other, and I see he's very angry. That's what I'm seeing now. But I want to understand from what he said. I believe that one thing I want to say is I want him to tell him to be real with the people. He's not yet familiar with the concept of the 2.1 billion for the project. He only know about the figure. He don't know the details because I see when people and they ask and question.
Mr. Gabo, what's my question?
My question is, has he previewed to the document, Mr. Suma, have you previewed to the document, the final document of the 2.1 billion project? And if so, now come and explain to us.
Okay.
The simple answer is that That is exactly why I am opposed to it. I am not privy to the document. I don't know any documents except the gibberish that they are telling us that does not make sense. If they were speaking Creole or speaking English or speaking Mende or so, I will understand that. But right now they are speaking German to us. And that German is not making sense at all. Until they show us the document and we see the clarity of it, then we know that this is what it happens. Those of us that are in finance and dealing with investors, we know what investors think and how their mind works. If they have performed some magic that is different from the standard that we know, how investors invest, how they think, how they process their investments, how they make decisions, different from what we know. If they have come up with some magic that they think that they are playing the magic good, let them prove it to us. Let them show it to us. And the most important thing we have to remember, they are the public figures. They are putting themselves for us to entrust them with the future of our country. So if they ask us to entrust them with the future of our country, they have the obligation to be answerable to us. They have the obligation to come clear to us. They have the obligation to be transparent to us. Such lack of which we're going to continue to criticize the bridge. Let them come out clean.
And one thing I want to add before Mr. Kabo, if you get a follow-up, or before you can have the follow-up, I just want for Oden call again. We all not see that document there, but based on waiting them tell we, now would they look, they try for synthesize and try for make sense out of it. So not of us say because, oh, somebody don't see the document, you don't see the document, is no. Now waiting, we own government presents to we verbally, now would they look at this time and say, okay, this makes sense, this not make sense at all. So you get any follow-up question quickly?
Yeah, I have a follow-up question. It could be political because this is now about the document. But to summarize what we are saying is that let the public understand, say, what Jesmed Suma they talk about now is just out of his own anger with regards to the government. Because we hear him calling them Paupanista, calling names, calling them thieves. This is not real. I just want to put it to the public because he himself don't know about the document yet. This is his assumption. So let the public know that. That's clear. All right.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Now, let we go to David. Go ahead. You get a question for Jesmed.
Yeah, Mr. I will make a small statement. I will go in line with what Mr. Suma they say based on the introduction where the president gave to the public. That's number one.
Yeah.
And then just like where you mentioned the specifics that we surround this bridge the concern with most people in the bring up. But one of the things we may want to understand too, the bridge is not a bad idea because I believe that bridge they go expand to road projects them. Because for it just build a bridge, you drop on one section, you know, get connection roads them or expand on the roads them, then that no make sense. That's number one. But then number two again, I believe say before that project will ever take the first step forward, they have to discuss that in the parliament. Now parliament get the ultimate right for confirmation. The SLPP party by themselves cannot do that. So that's the one now that I go like for understand properly. So this is a proposal where they make. And second of all, there is no investors. Because I believe say and the president or the government will tell me who that they do the feasibility study. You understand? And they just show us based on which
you get question.
They just show us the document and they say feasibility study. If you look at that document, they say put a show in a television, we'll see. It's not professional at all.
David,
tell you say there's a game.
David?
Because when
you get question for Jesmed.
Yeah, I get for talk. I get something for make I say, but when this gentleman they talk, I get for give time for me, don't for talk. You know.
No, not to the other David. I don't say David Koya. They talk about the other David. The one where they talk. You get question.
But a part of the question of the statement, I'm not going to ask question because everybody expressing concern how they look at the bridge. Mr. Suman expressing, I'm not going to make question. I'll make a statement where it will react to anybody.
What I want first, let me do the question.
The question. Okay, let me ask you the question. The document don't already agree upon a parliament because na parliament, I believe, they will make the final decision.
Jesmed.
For let that bridge they go on.
Well, the fact of the matter is, no. The parliament now review them or ratify them. And therefore, I want to remember this carefully. The normal procedure will be particularly major issues that we expect, say, a parliamentary committee go there, we go supposed to review them and vote for or against them or get concerns on them raised. But when you deal with a government, we not respect the constitution. They fire people against the spirit and letter of the constitution. If you deal with a government, we impose a speaker, we illegal, constitutionally illegal for them to serve on the speaker. If you look for a government where they impose a law, they decree a law, not even they decree a law, we not go through parliament, when are there emergency law, where the parliamentarians are not being get the opportunity for look through them. Then if you see that kind of pattern there, then you for expect say when it comes to 2.1 billion, then go do any kind of thing for violate the law again, for let them go ahead with them. So now that make every Sierra Leonean, this not a party business now, every Sierra Leonean will care about Salone. For now begin for raise them voice up in opposition to this bridge here so until Lengaya come out clean. If you not do them, you go be do disservice to your own picking them. You go do disservice to the next generation where they come. Because they are the way they do make the decision. They not care. When they go don't get them millions, don't put another, don't take care of them picking them, they exit. Now the rest of the other picking them go suffer. Where they did it. And for them picking and then you to man and they within the country, then your interest. Now we they seek right now. When I see how China they go and seize other countries and your asset them, Zambia, Indonesia, other places them. Then see them pop and say, oh no, this and that. Before them man say, which contracts might be not and China say, no, we get that now. Then they seize the airport and they seize port authorities and they seize all aside them. So God knows what thing them go don't put in the hand of the so-called investors and say, if push camp and shop, oh go don't go, if they not pay when I seize the airport.
Well, that
be careful.
I know say that.
Be careful. So the man they say me vex, I sound vex. I may sound vex. That is true. Because I smell the danger where they come for the country, the danger where they come to the threat of the future of the kingdom, the danger and the threat where they get to the next generation. I smell that danger there when I smell them. I know they feel okay.
All right, David, you get a follow-up quickly question, not a statement, question, quickly.
In this issue, I don't know how to ask question of Mr. Makota, but what they say based on what Mr. Suma say, one of the things we go ask the people for do, if the parliament go against that, then the government try to enforce that. Now we the people against for try to organize massive protests for diffuse that. That's all me go say. I go end and they allow us to progress.
All right, let me go to Ahmed Kanu. Ahmed Kanu, you get any question for Jesmed Suma?
Well, actually, waiting Mr. Suma don't talk. I think say we get for listen more of waiting there for come. You know, we get for listen and we get for pay attention for see.
You get question. With the company the commentary. I just want for if you get question.
Okay. My question is, the president don't bring any motive for put this in a parliament.
Suma.
Not that I know of. I don't know about any movement and don't make for present this here in a parliament. Because if they do that, people are going to hear about them. And there's plenty of parliamentarians them.
We're right.
We're supposed to be involved.
Yeah, we're right now. They get majority. They get, I think, one member seats as a majority. 58-57 right now. You get any follow up?
Yeah, no, but that not mean say the 57 other members they not will get a share. They not will be part of any committee where the decision entail. No, then go there.
Well, yeah,
then go pass that thing, then go take the 58.
You said don't talk. The problem is the time we been get majority, then they do what they want for do. Now that they don't get majority, what do they expect them to for do? You just don't talk, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Ahmed, can we get any follow-up question? Then we go to David Coy.
Well, for now, I don't really get any further questions. Like what I say no more. Let's see if this will go to parliament because it don't become something of concern. It don't become something controversial. And because it don't become controversial, I think say the president will take this to parliament, make it see waiting with representatives they will come up with.
Okay. All right, thank you. David Koya, let me make a brief summary because you come late, so you don't know exactly the discussion here. The discussion here is about the Lungi Bridge, which you already know because you are part of the argument on social media about the Lungi Bridge. The problem here is some of we get concerned about, like Jesmed Suma, we talk and clearly at the beginning say, we not say we oppose the bridge. We dey look at the cost and benefits of the bridge. So if you go take $2.1 billion, you put another bridge there, then let's say 25, according to what we there, if not 25 years, maybe they talk 200 years actually, because the 90 million dollars for that toll gate, that been 25 years. Now in them put for CS, now in them people they then get the money. Now they talk about 2.1 billion if that is true. I don't know if you say feasible. That one itself alone now is very, very suspicious. But do you have any question based on the small idea we don't have? So do you have any question for Jesmed Suma?
Yes. I get a question for Mr. Suma.
Okay.
First of all, the main question when I want to ask, the previous speakers, like Mr. Kabo, asked such a question which Mr. Suma don't make it clear. Because myself, according to his response, it looked like say his presentation looks somehow contradictory to me. So, but the question is that Mr. Suma, because according to all what he don't summarize, what he have hold from his explanation or in presentation is that it express doubt in the government that this kind of project, where they don't kind of present to the people, it try for express in doubt say it is like
you get
this
question.
project here gets something. Yeah, now the question they come to.
Okay.
It is like it gets some doubt say there must be a fishing or another corrupt itself underneath so that the government not present anything. Mr. Suma, you don't ever observe this government. Ever see they don't come. You don't observe any one of the ministers of officials then. We don't fall short of corrupt practices. We will give a call say you will express doubt in this project.
Okay.
My friend, the fact of the matter, they are humans. They are not angels.
Okay.
And secondly, some of them will know them personally before they come to power.
Okay.
Thirdly, everything what they do under corruption, they do in secrecy until one day, boss come on and do.
Okay.
And fourthly, the numbers then, what them put forward, it not make sense. You make they feel drunk at all.
Okay.
So that they don't make man begin for watch away name. The mistake will do with an escoroma, we get the benefit of the doubt for 5 years. But until they realize that this IMP don't come, 5 years on we don't so it define itself. That's why I will really make mistakenly. As in cop so we rise against them. So that way we don't country we can't afford forget another 5 years of for IMP leadership.
David, you get a follow-up question?
No, if I get any follow-up question, we'll deep at this for the rest of the time because
okay.
the questions that we are asked is not clear.
Okay, thank you very much.
I get presentation.
Yeah, we come to the commentary. Mr. Jesmed Suma,
Okay.
you are a contending candidate for the NGC chairmanship. Tell me about that.
Well, yeah, I did one for the party chairmanship because I believe in the ideology of the party. As somebody who be involved from the onset, they promote liberal progressive values. When I see say NGC, they share that same liberal progressive value with my own party. And I know say NGC gets a better chance of realizing the dreams of our founding fathers based on those liberal progressive values. And that make I run for the chairmanship of the party. The second reason Now because I not let the way politics they play us alone. We need a very dynamic, vibrant opposition. Some of the changes that we want for bring coming to the politics of Sierra Leone in general is going to be unique. I can give you a few examples. One, it not ever happened in the history of Salone where a government they present a budget, they get an opposition present a counter budget for let them go debate in a parliament. The people's budget by us, the Panistas and budget. Lord debate, allow suicide the people and they. Fine. Whether which one pass and pass, we'll get on there as weapon. That's not one just simple example. There are other issues them. Today, the way politics in Salone will not get a strong opposition where the people will look up to say, if they can't catch me, they can't take advantage of me. I don't know the mercy of the government and the party. Now that makes people some man they panic. Then they say, okay, let me say go wear green. Not to say they get on and they have to protection they look for. APC get a better position for move up, put up a very strong opposition right now. But APC now don't become hostage to an Eskuroma. So an Eskuroma, as long as they continue to be chairman of the APC party no will get way for breathe freely and create the kind of level of opposition where they need. Because everything an Eskuroma and henchmen and they do now for use the APC party as a buffer against any anti-corruption where they come against or anything where they do against the young individual, not only the party in general, but the young individual and the henchmen them. The moment APC try for reform and change the leadership and get a vibrant leadership, we are going to see where the Paupanistas and go change their attitude. But right now the Paupanistas then get edge over APC because the key people who run APC party, now the key people and now and then the way Paupanistas then put under corruption. But if APC gets a new team of leader, we not get nothing for answer to the Paupanista. They not get nothing for worry about saying they go jail. They will get the tenacity for stand up to the Paupanista them so that we will able to get a sober government so they take care of the people them instead of they take care of their own self and take care of their own party members. What kind of government, you know they come on a government for serve your party, the kind of government for serve the nation.
Yeah, let me ask you a question again on the I know say there are other people where they try for contest for the same position. What make you different from them people then they?
Oh well, it's because of the fact that say me get a new approach in terms of the way I want to reform politics in Salone in general. That's all it is. Me not believe in the cannabis. Let me tell you something. No party no go win election at Salone. And no party no ever win election in Africa. When an opposition party will come up from nowhere, like our NGC, this one a new party, we not show to the people and say they really mean something. They really desperate for them votes. Then get what it takes for reform their life. Then get what it takes for able for provide the kind of leadership where the politician are able to provide. If you not show that kind of leadership there, your party no go ever win. And that kind of leadership there, now me one for can provide inside the NGC party. Where they show to the voters and say they can count on us, count on NGC for address the failures of the current government.
Okay.
And for do that, you need to be very tactful. You need to be able to stand up for the people in interest. You need to stand for the principles. And the principles that me they can stand for when I run as when I become the chairman of the party. Mm-hmm. I don't care if them principles and they benefit APC. I don't care whether the thing that benefits C4C. Now the constitution and the law that they stand for. If it benefits, no problem. Now the right for let them get them because that's what the law say. Well, but APC na then rogue with today or the C4C or me no they go near there. No, me no they can't play that kind of politics. And they can't play politics where they put the country in interest first and defend the country in constitution and country laws them. I don't care what that benefit out of them. If na Paupanista them, then do something way right and they support them. Because I not of they support them, and they support because the thing they do is they right for the interest of the country. But if they do two way wrong, believe in me, I will be the first to rise up against them again.
So
That's the kind of leadership.
So looking at the the mentality of the people them, the Sierra Leonean people them, both at home and abroad, you think say you get a huge mountain for claim for with them kind of concept here, right?
I know that, but there's nothing insurmountable. If Nelson Mandela and Martin Luther King, they may worry about the height of the mountain, or they may worry about the challenges that they may face. Then I'm forever able to transform the South Africa or transform the societies of the United States of America like I can do. Now, because they get sincerity of purpose. Now, when you come with green in mind, you want to do it for yourself, for your interest, now you go fail. But if you come with a clear mind, a clear conscience, with the interest of the people, like that poor girl and go rape na bump inside the president in your home district, Paramount chief go rape him. Take today, we're not hearing nothing but that. If me be there at the leadership of the party, I go send letter, ask question. I go send letter to the attorney general, ask question. I go send away them. That PC woman, when they go rape inside Kailaun, then go gang rape him. The Yerida woman in situation. Believe in me, it's me get me way. And the pump money behind that woman for whoever go rape him, we go back find them. If we not do it, we challenge the government. That's the kind of leadership. I don't care whether it benefits. Because people that deserve leader where they seek their interest. We don't put allow them to go and bully people all over the place like that.
Well, Mr.
Jesmed, what I want to ask you, you're running for the chairmanship, but are you planning to relocate to Sierra Leone to stay here permanently, or you want to be chairman while in the diaspora?
So obviously, this is like a ground game. You don't go run political party remote control. You go for there on the ground and play the ground game. And I'm ready and prepared for that ground game. Hey, come on. Salon?
Yeah, good question.
Salon in future is more serious than the sacrifices we make.
All right,
I got a question
David, you say you get a question. Go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. Suma. Hello?
Yes, I hear you.
Oh, okay. Mr. Suma, I hear you say, when I asked you the first question, I said you don't ever observe any corrupt practices from the current government. You say no, but they are human. So it is possible that they will do corruption with all the vices that we make. Okay, so should we relate that to you also because you are a human? When you become a leader, you will act like the same previous leader then? Because you are human.
Exactly. That I come. The fact of the matter is, you go only be suspicious of somebody if you give you ground or reason to be suspicious, in the sense that if me go and perform my duty, I able to subject myself to scrutiny, then obviously nobody will get reason for suspect me or begin for create doubt. But if they do create doubt, I will still get grounds for challenge them. Like that, and I don't create doubt about this 2.1 billion. If they not say they're clean, all they get for do okay, these are the evidence, and we are being transparent for refute the claims the way they make. But they're not doing that, so that doubles up the suspicion.
Okay, Mr. Suma, what I want for me, everybody know, and every Sierra Leonean where they listen to with discussions now. You don't clearly tell we say it is not like creating a doubt. You just try to formulate a hypothesis to say now this, because we don't ask you if you know the detail of this agreement of this project. You don't get a detail of it. You say you don't get no detail of it.
Yeah, but
so
David,
you don't even get detail about something. How you going to create a doubt about it?
David.
Yeah.
Let's be frank.
I know Makota answer their big.
Okay, go ahead.
Makota.
Okay,
Makota.
Go ahead.
You mentioned just like say, considering the mentality of people and both abroad and the diaspora, this not going to be a Herculean task to me. Indeed, this is just an example of waiting and the challenge we all get for the considering. Because if anybody understands, say, public servants, they owe obligation to be accountable to the subject or to the voters. If you get that clear understanding, they say, the onus for be clear and be accountable and be transparent about anything, especially the biggest project in the history of Salon. In one BBC interview I listened briefly, they say now one of the biggest projects them we don't undertake at a single moment in Africa so far. Then you they say me where they raise doubts for them come out clean. Now me know the do me homework right. And then don't do the homework right.
The thing is, Mr. Suma, I'm not a court you sorry for that. What they try to say is, you don't bring your presentation. A really good what they see from what you don't present to me. But our question is that you able get a detail about this particular project when we able back in whatever you try for present to me. You say no, you don't really get a detail.
Yeah, but
because when they look at the government, in this project, they don't bring a kind of parliament.
No, but David, in fairness to Jesmed Suma, the burden of proof rely on the government.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
So
therefore, you have to give chance to the government.
He is making a statement based on what he don't hear it so far.
Yeah.
So it is now the responsibility of the government for put everything on the table.
Exactly.
And let's
Anyway.
No, let me come in because I'm the one who asked that question. This is again Cabo from New York. Mr. Just like what everybody has observed, the thing is, it's difficult for some of we go into details with this thing, and it leave us with a sense of like a feeling of what actually is going on. Because I want to speak to somebody here. Hello, I want to speak to somebody. I want to ask a question to somebody who get the information, who is preview. Because even me, as I am here, I want to believe I have a detailed information than Mr. Suma, who is presenting the case.
Mr.
And that's why I don't want to go
Cabo.
into it. Because it seems like to me it's a politics of scaring.
Mr. Cabo.
And he has no facts. He has no nothing to say.
Mr. Cabo.
Look at the simple question where our guest, Mr. Sorry, I missed your name, sir. Okay. Our guest just asked her.
Mr. Cabo.
Mr. Coy asked her.
Mr. Cabo.
He built this. How would you be a politician and start to assume, and at the worst of it all, you are going to aspire as a candidate under NGC, and you trying to assume that people, human beings are human beings. You don't have, and all the questions we have asked you, Mr. Suma, you have no answer. What are we going to
answer?
Mr. Cabo.
Mr.
Cabo.
Yes,
all right. I think say they miss the point where Mr. Suma they try for make. Really they miss the point. And this are the thing where Jesmed Suma talk about we mentality na Sierra Leone until we really want get for change we mentality. Now we they make we leaders them, then they look low upon we. Now we they make the leaders them, we give them the appetite for make them thief what they get for thief. At the end of the day, now rather than they suffer, now the same people them. If Mr. Jesmed Suma can tell you say based on what I don't get so far, it don't make no sense. Anybody where they with in right mind when a patriot Sierra Leone and you can with them kind money for say they can do one project, you get for discussion, and especially then tell you say that 25 years this year, nothing other way the government get for pay for them year. Me man, and you know exactly for say not a true. Because there is always going to be a collateral.
Where do you get the 25 years in this project? Where did you get the 25 years? Because I have detailed information than you guys. And you talking about 20. What are the 25 years? Tell us, what 25 years for?
25 years.
Okay, you tell us what you have. Since you have more information than us. You tell us what you have.
No. I am not.
No, you never tell me what you get because if you deny what we say, then you bring your own. You know, you deny somebody say, then you bring your own.
Okay. Can I do my presentation so that we all go share?
Yeah. Go ahead. David, go ahead.
Just come put scare
Give me that presentation back.
to us.
Yeah.
Nobody for Pakistan, no while.
Yeah, hold on. David, I give you 2 minutes. Let you share your information.
I am a Sierra Leonean. I'm a patriot. I'm very much concerned with the 2.1 million.
No, but you know express an area too. You know express nothing area too. What you got? what you not express none of that concern there at all. And the way what you
But
have
it's the
done
fact
so
I'm
far,
asking
it seems
for.
like you
If
just
you,
need a time
if
for
you have the fact that
defend
you
the
claim,
25.
then show it to us. Come to our argument.
Okay,
No,
I have my facts. Give me chance to do my presentation.
Okay.
So that we all go share and play.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. From waiting to start with, government, who send me say to start, not forget about Panista or whatever as Mr. Suma did. I represent it as a patriot or
Okay.
as a Israelian. One thing I know is that the government a transparency what it said it do, what it can do in presentation, it said not bid, then people they not bid, they don't bid. It's not that they don't sign agreement or you don't take a particular person. We all know that this country will know what's not bid. So the one that whether they bid, the one where they come with a reasonable amount. So say somebody they will go, but the government say they bid whether they bid, that are the target of amount where they will say they will stop so far. It they bid. So somebody will go count below that 2.2 million or whatever, 2 million, whatever, it will fine. But not that are the target. All right. And the whole presentation, if the government want to do anything in secrecy or any fishy business, enough for them present them to we for make we all know. So after when the bill, whoever when they come with a reasonable bill, when the government will look at her, say it's reasonable. Now out of that they go take her, they go present her in a parliament, then sit in a parliament with parliamentarians, then discuss her. Government not take any decision yet or you not take any side. So this is now one aspect of the government in transparency we all foresee.
You said
then two. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. All right. So then the government in a try what is present away against it, the whole thing is now lease and the lease. We all know it's me get a land as a road. I know we get money for build and land. But I see somebody when I a possible investor, whether I don't count 2, 3 or whatever, they want do investments in my land or do any project in my land. I therefore present a bill whoever will come with a reasonable project where we will come for insurance. At the end of the day, it's in my hand in the left hand. Whether it run for so many years. Now, all this year, whether they do, whether this needs the condition of the lease or whatever, nothing where is subject to discussion. Now, parliament. We not even get to that stage. So, if the government is saying now, not in the low set amount for next week, I mean, yes, we will begin to bring something on that. But all this year not count also. So now that make us say Mr. Suma is present, I mean in opposition or Mr. Suma in presentation or whatever always they do. All the days they want they listen then it will do. Honestly, so now I go type of after it so they get any detail about it. When you say no, you know when it comes to any
David.
You understand?
All right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Now you presentation this also. David, now your presentation this. You start by your presentation. David?
Yeah?
You stand by your presentation. Now your presentation this, not so.
I'm not done there.
No. I'm not going to give you a chance for make you do everything because of time. No. But now I just want so far what we don't understand now your presentation this, right? You stand by that.
No, I'm not done my presentation. I don't give me 1 minute, make a round up.
Okay,
Marcus, again, 2 minutes. Yeah, 2 minutes.
Okay.
Round up.
Okay. With all these so with all this where the government don't bring camp up, Mr. Suma said, there's no idea about details about the president. I mean about waiting the government, what's the agreement and the agreement don't come up. I believe that Mr. Suma in position for don't be either for because it's not a party, it's a party leader, you get members then. When a member of parliament at the party, now what I believe say for don't talk with them when they will bring something. But the whole thing Mr. Suma the breaker, it can finally tell we say this now is down somewhere in express over the government because of human being and human being. As I can say. So human being and human being, if Mr. Suma you tell we say human being and human because they are mortal, they are then a mortal man. What about you now when you say they aspire for maybe become a leadership?
Okay, Marcus,
we can present that kind
Marcus, react to this man now.
All right. Hold on. David, okay, you 1 minute on done. Before anybody they react, I want for make sure because David now somebody where in presence na social media is very very great because we get all the great. David, now your presentation this, you stand by that?
I stand by that.
Okay, Mr. Suma, go ahead.
Oh, David.
No, hold on, Mr. Kabo, hold on. Jesmed Suma, you want for answer? Go ahead. Then other people then they come in.
We allow respond to the man.
Okay.
If I tell you say,
Yeah.
I get one bag granite, one full bag granite. This bag granite, I buy am $1 million. You know, go ask me say, man, that granite there, one bag granite, $1 million. Hey, brother, let me forgive me. What's nation? So that one, this I'm gonna granite. You know, get doubt. Every normal human being will get doubt. That's now one of the reasons why the 2.1 billion don't make sense to me. The second one, me no say that 2.1 billion day, you go bring energy, infrastructure, electricity in every village in Salone, because I don't do a research on them. I not say that $2 billion day. If you take and say you want to do railway line, you go able to run railway line from Kailaun to Falaba, from Kono to Freetown, from Pujaun to Cambia, inside Salone. So I begin to ask myself back. Electricity in every village and Lungi Bridge, which one more important for people there? I begin to say again, but all man knows say look Senegal yesterday. Now latest train service and get. All the African countries, they all get train service them. But we they can take 2.1 billion for put up an 8-kilometer bridge. Whether 2.1 billion they go to make railway system for our country. That one they make sense. Now on that basis, the final one will make a raise more concern. Just like you say, we not see documented pa, and I then get the responsibility for present document to we. Now we vote them in. They answerable to us. They can undertake a project where go get for outlive their own lifetime. They all go don't go, they not rot in a grave tomorrow. This project will still there on. With people that will go left behind and they go for responsible. So if they can claim say, hey, no worry. This bag here and a grant number there inside there, but it costs $2 billion. Then you expect me say for left, but I had a man there. Law left there because I already at the same party. No. The country can't force than party interest.
All right.
Now that's people who really try for differentiate.
Okay, Jesmed, hold on. Abdul, if you want coming before Jesmed coming, what you want to say?
Oh no, I mean just want to say to David, it looks like this is a better way than the Tpn forum where they type no more, we exchange ideas. So and like what you just say, I don't think he trained this out of Mali. But Naimik, I use the word you saw, the burden of proof, the day on the government for pretend. But since they be saying, now just a bidding, and the government saying that 2.1 billion, then go start. But yet, these Sierra Leoneans, they go try to compare the benefit of the bridge and other projects that like Jesmed just enumerate, a couple of them. Me not to economists, I don't know whether 2 billion go bring train at the country like how Jesmed Suma talk or it go build a brand new airport, some mama, renovate Lungi like Gatwick Airport or even LaGuardia and New York, and still money go left. Because I understand that the bridge, they would put a train station also at the bridge, and part of this 2 billion, that the renovation of the airport to a modern standard, to a Western standard, wherein the government now is able to cater for the whole regional conference system, that West Africa, because Sierra Leone airport is closer to Europe and North compared to Ghana, Senegal, and Nigeria. So let's say UNESCO will hold a conference, a meeting for West Africa or World Bank, they can just say, let's fly to Lungi, have a meeting, and fly back out. So my understanding is part of this 2 billion is going to take care of all them problems there, having a train there, and putting 5-star hotels, and modernizing the airport to a Western-style airport.
Well, Mr. Abdul.
That even is better, your explanation, sir, as compared to Mr. Jesmed Suma.
Hold on, Mr. Gabo, you coming. I know say you really want for coming. Hold on. Mr. Abdul, in fact, that 2 billion, include that 5-star hotel, because the 5-star hotel, then according to waiting the SLPP tell him that we don't get already an investor for that. Not to so where them in London, they said they don't get investor for 5-star hotel already. But what I want for let me Mr. David quite understand, it's not about the construction of the bridge. Now, I'm your concern. That's not a wonderful thing. You understand? For construction
Exactly.
the bridge. Not only the problem at all. We are looking at waiting the common at the month of the very SLPP them. Now we they try for yeah, oh yeah, for try for George whether it makes sense or not. In fact, the way they present this to yourself, like that make cabinet talk say we need for get more information. The way that they present, and then they even present and like say, oh, this way I will not even get investors at all. The entire social media, they just say, well, you know what? Then they don't already secure an investor, so therefore, now David they come and they can begin because say we don't hold some side way they know say very very critical. But go on social media, now that make I tell and say if now install even David the audience the way they send na social media, you understand? Then people then it seems like there is already a secure loan for this year, so then at that time no more now. In fact, me and my wife, me and argue. Then there's because in a Lungi come out, you understand? He said, oh, the SLPP they can't make the bridge. Now I say no, it's not possible for make that bridge. I not think they get you money for 2.something billion. Not a small money, my brother. If we get $2.1 billion, I swear to God, we they able to build 3 standard airports and we they renovate Lungi airport. It much more better. Yeah, it's much more better than
1 billion.
One
divided by
project.
300 million at 7.
Yeah.
2.1 billion divided by 300 million.
Now
At 7 times.
Yeah.
At 7 years.
So just imagine, now that makes some of you skeptical. Not to say we're not happy. Let Madabio bring investment to, but the way they bring the statement, the way that they put out there, it doesn't make sense at all with the type of money. So I want to make you clear that David, not of us say we not there against, but they not come with a good statement where they make sense. Mr. Kabo is yes now coming.
Back to the discussion on the issue of the project, the 2.1 billion. It is good if we that the public will listen to. The public normally, most of the people they rely on the information we will give because they don't get access to the government so much. And when we try to disseminate them information, we have to get the truth and the facts of them. And sometimes I can debate very well, but I get twisted in this debate because I don't get the facts from people what they are saying and only pockets of facts. All right, Mr. Coy mentioned 2 major important factors, and then Mr. Abdul, of course, he buttressed most of them. Our major speaker here is Mr. Suma, who came in because I don't agree all the most academic type of education or which we can get from the media. I mean, from online on WhatsApp, from his own videos, and all these days I was pondering over how much this guy know about these things. And I mean, and I can find out that it's just a political scaring tactic.
Mr. Kabo,
yeah,
it is the government's responsibility for come out with a clear message. You understand? I want to make you know that you now somebody will be in this program where they attack Anes Barikolma so many times they tell will be in the power. I get so many audios the way you talk about some of them here.
Of course,
if you as a government,
I have reasons about them.
No, not the same thing. There are certain things where the government they make vague information, it bring confusion. So, and now you know the one person where they come out and stamp on the government. Why they do on this government here?
But this is what I'm saying to you. Which area of the government of the SLPP where you want me to talk about when I don't see an altar of any mistake that the government makes? Mr. Coy just asked another opponent, under what corruption or which corruption you don't ever see SLPP paper. He don't answer and clearly and the public say on no account. But they are human beings, which are the worst answer ever since I can.
You know believe say the way the government put out this statement here about this bridge here, It's very, very erroneous, number one. It's very, very confusing, number two. And now it gets a political motivation. Now that make them put her out na the social
That's
media.
a political motivation, but it's not the political. Everything a government does has a political motivation because they want make them say now then do this. Yes, but the political motivation must be very successful and must be something admirable, not to be corrupt. And we have not seen elements of these things yet.
I'm not talking about corruption, Mr. Kabo. It's not about corruption. It's about the information now they try for process.
The most WhatsApp media tycoon, the question is posed to him. He said never. So where are we going? Where?
No, Mr. Kabo, you missed the point. I think you still hold and call. We dey try for process waiting the available information what we get so far from the government. This is not all.
It's distorting. The available information you guys get is not an available information. It's distorting information.
Okay.
It's geared towards the interest of other people, not the interest of the Sierra Leoneans.
All right. Now bring the other David. Not to David. Right. Let me bring the other David. David, you come in if you want to say something. Then we go to American.
Yes. Yes. What we don't observe is that...
No, not to David Quiet. Not to David Quiet. The other David.
I'm giving you whole forum to Mr. Suma for mention. Where anybody is going to water. I don't know if now we're seeing Mr. Suma here on one. I think that you will be here to almost...
No, David.
Anyway, go ahead.
David. We get a process now this media what they talk, okay? Na dialogue, not a monologue with the okay? Na dialogue. So if they talk, I can get the way they call for make a stop you and try for bring you back or maybe interject with the talk. So now so we do things and not a monologue with the na dialogue, okay? The other David, go ahead. Oh,
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes. I say, one thing I don't observe is that we friend and I not seem for understand the role and responsibility of government. And they also not seem to understand the responsibility of citizens in relation to government. The claim say me no know nothing but this project here so, and I criticize the project. The fact of the matter is now because they self no know nothing but this project here so, as much as me no know much about the project, other than waiting the government they present. And the government waiting and present no make sense to me, make I criticize them. So then it makes sense to them. Me the base my own criticism, I don't explain, I'm not explain again. So that before them go say, now this reason why Mr. Suma they oppose them. So when I listen carefully, I want to listen carefully, I beg. So that when they go misquote me, that at least let the record show say, I didn't clarify the reason why I oppose them. One, I will oppose them because there is no clarity. We don't get information. We don't know what are the details of the project. We don't know what in that 2.1 billion. It don't make sense to me. And it don't make sense to plenty of people. That's not one reason. The second reason why I propose them, because it's a missed opportunity for them to put to priorities and right. Now a misdirection of the new direction. So they seem for them lost in sense of direction. Because if you compare what in $2 billion go do for bring electricity across the country, or for bring the healthcare system, build them up across the country, or the railway network for build them out across the country. If the basis of this 2.1 billion now for the social and economic benefit of Salone, then it gets much impactful return on investment, not only for the investors, but both the social and economic benefit of Salone if you put energy in every village or you put a railway system across the world. That's not based on me research what we don't do out of me and experience. That's not the third reason why I criticize them.
Well, I don't say anything like what Mr. Kabo say get a political connotation, and it just left to who is actually looking at the bigger picture. And I will tell you one. I will tell you people like David Kwaiso or Mr. Kabo himself, because na man who I don't deal with now for years, and I know exactly the way he argue stuff. I swear to God, if these projects na APC projects, you go see people.
They don't criticize.
You go see people like David Coy. They come out, they bring all kind good reason why them projects are not the work. But because it is an SLPP, they look at that for say, you know what, them guy are not for say them genuine, them criticism to them not genuine. Now because now SLPP they do so they don't want for make who get the credits. I just want to make them very clear. We now know, some of us know, this program, in fact, the TPN during the APC program, now the most media where they criticize we young government. We all know that.
Yes, we know that.
Yeah, from where the APC come now this program, some people they say now this program and SLPP program during the APC party, you know, because they come out and look at the country first and say, you know what, this not make sense. So I want for them yourself. I don't say politics now don't overcome him. It doesn't matter. Everything we see in two ways, either SLPP or APC. That's it. There is not a third way when the country. There is no middle way. But when I look at this project, when I pull the political grounds first, when I look at take $2.1 billion, David Coy, put in a project like that one day. Then look at the other priorities where Jesmed Suma they talk, and look who side it make more sense. Go ahead, David Coy.
Thanks very much, Honorable Makota. What you know more I want for make we all go understand is, including every Sierra Leonean, we go listen to this discussion here tonight, is that one, by waiting me see, the government is very, very clear with its message. The technical point here, what I want to make known or clear to everyone, like Mr. Suma, is that the very money, of course, Mr. Suma, to start with, make I say all them priorities where you highlight or where you itemize, say that money, such money for the use for railway, airfield or airport and so forth. I mean, these are points where really they're in place. But one thing I want to make you know is the cash itself, what would they say a big money, 2.1 billion or whatever, and not there, not to say they don't have we hand. If now money where they not government in hand, or government don't go loan now, they say they invest into they put into such investment. So you go bring out all kind of points and show say, oh, why they will not go use their money here for do this, for do this, for do this. But the money no they at hand at cash. Now somebody one can do this investment, one can bring this kind of development, this kind of project now with country, won't be for years what we don't they cry for. Anyone can use your money for do one. Then at the end of the day, a guy for you investor and put in money, then he left the put it in our hand. So it don't make any sense to we where we go say, well, oh, that money is so big, so that we don't go want that kind of project there. Instead we don't make this. If the money then I hand, if we don't tell somebody for do this. But Honorable Makota, that money they not for say a day. You know then we hand. Now leave. Not so long we don't know.
All right.
Okay, David, take us away. David, you and Kagbo, I want to ask a question. David, you and Kagbo,
Yeah.
on a truth is that discussion after now. Now, let's assume the parameter which is acceptable. Okay, don't you think, let's assume, say, where President Mio come, and not like the deal where we all wear an Escoromado, because he will trust 400 million for can be their phone. So now assume, say, you don't think, say, President Bio for being approached back China, say, look, now do it the same way like the bridge. When I give you 500 million, when I build the airport, when I own that for 25 years, when I get the landing fee and everything, and then when I give you them back. What about that? Name?
Okay. All right. Okay, all right, make I answer that question. If me na mother you, probably I for don't do likewise, because that money what they take for more go establish a new airport. Why would not go use that kind of money for more can improve on the longer airport, for make a more established in a more standard way than go build, establish another airport. Lungi itself, when we say another city, I mean, if it be another city, we go down improve on that airport, Lungi airport, get that bridge. I mean, like the way Freetown look congested, you not gonna be congested like that. Why we not gonna use that kind of money that will for go to establish another area? Why if the mama is there?
Well, David.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah. Well, the question is,
hold on, Mr. Kabu. David revealed something I am where I want because it dey on record. David, the money not there, it's not so investor not there. It's actually now kind of kind of a concept some of us now they try for talk about.
Why you coming to me? Don't come to me.
David.
Yeah.
And I had to ask you, so what are they hearing from you? The money not there now. Investors are not there at all. Now kind of a concept no more now. If they try for talk about say now that make not for suppose for criticize money not there. It's not so. Investor not there. It's not so.
Now the answer now the question where he asked me is say what about if President Bioko don't embark on the project or the proposed plan?
No, before Mr. Kabo asked the question, you said the money self no there yet. So now I want for let it be a farm.
The money no dey. Not so for say na the cash they don't give. Not so that they say.
Wow.
Wait, not so that they say.
Mr. Mankota, let me come in.
Yeah, go ahead.
Definitely, there is no money 2.1 billion. It is a figure. It is a figure. And,
a concept.
And there is no investor named yet. If you know one, tell us. That's why I don't want to go into detail.
Wow.
If you know an investor already, tell me. That's why I told you guys the information is it's very limited, which will not bring the case, those presenting the case, where they get, and because they're not able to answer with questions. That makes me know I'm going to it.
So Mr. Gabo.
You understand?
Mr. Gabo.
Correct.
Why a government were credible? They talk about credibility because they talk, Mr. David Koi, they talk about how this government credible and they and corruption. Why a government?
Yeah.
They push out in the public something like this where they don't say, indeed, they don't even get no investor, they don't get nothing absolutely. Did you hear some of them? Then guys are waiting and they talking on social media. It seems like the money is already there.
Let me answer that. Mr. Mankota. Not having an investor is simply telling you that we don't have somebody who agreed with the under signature saying I will take up the duty. People are coming and look at the situation. And nobody has given his or her own response yet. More investors are coming. You come and do your feasibility study, you go.
Okay, Mr. Dabo, did you hear the interview with Amadabio na BBC?
Yes.
So what did he say?
I had the interview.
What did he say?
The interview is that it commissioned a bridge for 2.1 billion. All right? And he never tell you, I have the money. He never mentioned he has this particular investor. No investor name mentioned. This is a bid. People are coming in. That is the highest. He's going to look at the highest bidder. This is the target, 2.1 billion.
Okay.
Somebody might come, look, I will do this project for 1.1 billion. The other one will say, I will do this project for 1.8 billion. Then the government will go in for the highest bidder. And the fact of the matter, the bridge has, this is what Madabio said.
Okay, Mr. Gabo, I want to ask another question.
20 years.
Mr. Gabo, hold up. We don't go out of time. We don't go out of time. I want to ask another question. When waiting make Madabio go to London for? Not for investors, meeting. You go there.
These are the things. Okay, he went for investors. And so many investors, you just mentioned, you don't say he went for an investor. He said he went for investors. And that's not even the first time. Now, I didn't get the concern, say, Madabio don't travel 130 times or how many times you not bring investors. This is just the tip of the iceberg. The investors are coming in. And let me tell you something, they're going to continue coming in and you will be surprised.
Not to ask you, it's very simple, Mr. Gabo. Did the Madabio go in London for investors, not so?
Right.
Okay. Now London Madabio, the way he announced the first investor where he get not so about the Lungi 5-star hotel, not so?
You got to remind me about that.
Yeah, I know. Say you know about that anyway.
No, I don't.
You know who's how they come. You know who's how they go. But anyway,
if we're talking at the media about the 5-star hotel, I have Mr. Adu, I have Mr. Kanu, I have Mr. They will tell you yes, we'll talk about it.
not so much knowledge yet.
Yeah. Actually, the government come out and announce that they will quite know about that. But somebody say you want come in. Let's give that person the last word. Go ahead. Now, just man.
All right, go ahead. I'm not going to.
Go ahead.
What we don't observe, Mankosa, is that it's like I say, Bengaya, now they fabricate excuse now for the government. When we raise concern over stuff, they say, this is why after that we name, get investors. Now the figures no more than say enough for past 2.1 billion.
I know.
The question is how then get to that figure, 2.1 billion. People that don't work at the
Can I answer that question?
No, hold on, Mr. Kabo, hold on.
Yeah, in your
Mr. Kabo, hold on. Mr. Kabo, hold on. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Jesmed.
Okay. In your numerous videos, Mr. Suma, you made mention and you cried down the people of Sierra Leone, the educated people. You say we don't have those kind of educated people in Sierra Leone. We can do that. Well, that's what they have come up.
When did I say that?
Go over your videos. Go over your videos. And you want to know who are the people? Because nobody has higher education, that economic type of education. When we do yesterday, I went through your videos. I went through your videos.
I went through your videos.
Hold on, Mr. Kabo, get a chance now. You don't accuse them.
I said we have Scalonian engineers.
All right.
I said we don't know which Scalonian engineer that they brought in. I know several Scalonian engineers that should have been involved in a process like this.
Mr. Suma, this is the figure the government of Sierra Leone came with. Okay? This is the figure the Sierra Leone government came up with.
How did they come up with that? Nine demand asked the question.
Whether they imported engineers from abroad or they used Sierra Leone engineers, this is the figure.
Mr. Kabo,
and that's what we're working with.
Mr. Kabo,
yeah.
You don't answer the question. Now you volunteer for answer the question. The man say, how did they come up with that figure? You don't answer the question. He said, you can't try for deflect the question. How do they come up with that figure?
Mr. Mendoza,
All that will...
It's not the figure that's what they come up with and then they work with that. They tell you for fanatic behavior. You don't understand it? So I think here, how we want to analyze that? We don't analyze them. Something happens, we don't accept that. We don't know continue to move. We got to change this approach.
Well,
if we don't put pressure up on the SLPP government, we left them and do it in the one for them. Go what first the so-called APC will criticize.
Yeah.
So every step and every proposition SLPP puts in that parliament, we will challenge them. We will put pressure and they will not forgive them one chance for sleep for the next 5 years. Once and
well, in a nutshell, what I want to say for we viewers and we listeners, David Coy and Mr. Kabo not to spokespeople for the SLPP. So now the last one I want to say, the thing they wait and say money no day anything so far. Let we take and say not then your opinion because we and don't tell we so far there is already some kind of a fix aboard where we know say now just a matter of time. So if David can come, that make a ask her to do.
Manko Tana, maybe they're on the floor. I've been expecting the man go answer my question. That don't show say they don't get it. They don't get a clue.
Yeah.
Let me answer that question. No. You don't allow me. You don't even allow me for me. You don't even allow me.
No, Mr. Kabo, you don't answer the question. You can't deflect the question. You talk about this why I have to say he insults people them.
Exactly.
That was also the question. How did they come with this total? If you just say this, then consider this factor, then make them come up with that total.
Listen, let me tell you something. Anyhow I answer that question, I cannot answer it in this way until you get a document produced.
Why you volunteer for answer? Why you volunteer for answer? So David will be answer the question sometime. He gets more answer than you, so give a chance. David answer the question.
Let me tell you something.
David,
what I'm telling you is...
No, Mr. Kabo, hold on. You know, he said nobody will answer the question. David, answer the question.
The presentation is bogus. It has no political...
All right, Mr. Kabo.
No answers.
Mr. Kabo, hold on. You don't tell me say nobody will answer the question. David, answer the question. How did the SNPP government come up with this report?
Okay. Yeah, may I ask you a question once again?
Jesmed Suma, go ahead.
The question is simple. How did they come up with the 2.1 billion figures? When they see that the ceiling now.
All right. Well, I want to make you understand, say, the government, not to an individual, they should not make a decision. The government get a cabinet. They get 4 people. When members of the cabinet or of the government, when they go able to do, they get an idea of every deal so far, every project where they go on. Before ever you
the person when you get that person in the background, then you mute your phone.
Before ever you come into negotiation with anybody, now you and somebody clear amnesia now they do. When they don't go talk for a particular price, you and the person get for don't force. If now you and you well for that household on the buy, when I get for don't force now for a plan, when they go take this house here as a loan. So what you go mean with budget for that particular house? You understand? These are the kind of way where they come up with. Not that they have agreed on a concrete amount. So now the presentation, this is what the government go do.
All right, David, you answer the question more than Mr. Kabo. Mr. Kabo, you know.
That's what I tried to when they ask. The other question is when you ask me about when they ask about would they so far will not come up with not to understand about investors, not to individual investors, like a group of individuals. When a series of investors they therefore give them limited amount. Waiting for me, the budget will get for what they will get for you for building bridge here.
Okay.
After when they're done,
okay, David.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we don't go out of time. I just want to thank we guest Jesmed Suma. Jesmed Suma, I call very late.
I'm on the floor.
Waiting.
I asked them questions, let them answer. Give me 1 minute, I just rebut.
Okay, go ahead. 1 minute, and after that, I close the program. We don't go 2 hours in the next show. Go ahead.
Okay, I give 1 minute to the comment.
Okay. That's fine. I will give you about listen to one. Then after that, I will call another one. Just let go.
If the argument not true, then the presentation what the government for them make, they say they look for a bid within the range of 1 billion to 1.5 billion or 500 million to 2.1 billion. But that's not what they said. They said the bridge is going to cost 2.5 billion. If that's the case, they should have done what they call feasibility study. We not see that document in the environmental study.
No, hold on, David, no more interjection.
Cost benefit analysis. We not see that document in the. So then they expect you for your time grace. So what they say is, Manchester, these are wide fishing. Then they spread their net wide. So if we buy into the 1.1 billion, nobody no oppose them. They say, "Pap, don't get them. When I can't build 1 billion, the other billion off anyway for Shiba. The government don't buy them."
Well, down there, just I think it's in a speculation no more. We'll not get any concrete evidence on that. Now let me go to Mr. Abdul. Mr. Abdul, quickly.
Exactly. Now after they say we not get no evidence of that.
Mr. Abdul, 1 minute. Okay. The other David, not David Kwayo, the other David, go ahead. 1 minute.
Well, what do we think they happen? So far, so good. The discussion is beautiful. But let's assume, say, that particular project could happen. But maybe there are many other projects on that pipeline. I believe they're not the only project planning with the government of the day they put forward. Now we are using the electricity we discussed about. The government gets another project and another $3-4 million for the country. So what do you do? We are darling and have rights for checks and balance.
They are the person. If you know they talk, they are mute phone. I know I'm for mute somebody.
Not to me. And encourage people of to participate and then discussion there. And that's not what we go say.
All right. Thank you very much. Ahmed, can you get anything? Because Ahmed Kanu is on side. I don't know if he go able to talk. Ahmed Kanu, you want to say something quickly? 1 minute.
It's too noisy. I'll leave it at this point for now.
Mr. Ahmed, can you get anything? They move before. All right, David Kwai, you get 1 minute.
All right. Yeah. The closing comment is I tell everybody thank you for what we will meet up tonight and share with ideas. All that I say, the position still stands that the government make everything clear and the government like a transparent government. The government not corrupt, and the money itself for every Suwanian for me we all know. The money itself, not to forsake the money we available to the government, we able to invest into different projects as Mr. Jesmed Suma they say.
the money not there at hand. The money not even they available as a loan. Waiting we do now, somebody they can leave, we play for, can build a bridge there for what we don't dey suffer for so many years. So that person they build a bridge, then they invest on it. So that na that.
Okay.
All that I want from everybody know is that, please, Mr. Jesmed, before the Suma don't come to, you don't tell we play a little like this, with all the audio we don't dey bring can for several days all the year about this project. You don't tell we say, you know, there's no clue of the agreement. There is no agreement so far. All in comment there is just based on malicious assumptions.
All right, you tell me, no, Mr. Kabo. Mr. Kabo, go ahead.
Please, we are more patient and see the agreement after the government go don't deliberate on us. The parliament to the member of parliament.
Hey, David.
God bless you all.
No, filibuster.
Thank you.
Thank you. 1 minute.
The 2.1 billion is a real concern for patriots like us. The government throw red meat to the opposition, and it's fine. We get this information, like we get it from Mr. Jesmed Suma. But let me just tell you something. Just like my landed comrade mentioned, all those rambling in the WhatsApp media with all those bogus economics and fantasies, they are just fantasizing. They are nothing that are real. They are political scaring tools. So we are waiting for the final document to come, and it will come in due course. Thank you.
Angota, you take all me time now, give Mr. Kagbo.
No, I call you, but you no answer. Okay, take 1 minute. Take 1 minute quickly.
I just want to say the conversation the discussion is very, very nice.
Yep.
Anybody who say SLPP no corrupt, not to kill the talk.
Evidence.
No, David, the time no one interject, so no interject.
On the next show.
All right.
All right. Well, I just want to thank you very much, and one of the things I want to thank Mr. Jesmed Suma for come from there we can discuss. This is a wonderful discussion for we country, and the reason why we make it very, very important for us to make some of them discussion, especially things like this where get for do with we, 5 generation after we. The decision what they make today, it affect them 5 generation and day. So we get the right and the opportunity for that we discuss and make sure say we tell the government waiting at the right way. It doesn't necessarily mean say because you oppose the government project that means say you don't like the government. It's a kind of accountability. We just want transparency. I mean the $2.1 billion, that's fine. If the government want to forget unfortunately they will just kind of and tell you say there is no even investors yet anyway. So but let's say we get an investor where they take care of that. I want to make the government look at this money and say, okay, talk to the investors. Say, yes, now this purpose is now for this bridge, but we don't get more idea where we will benefit the entire country. Then we use some of them money that they and renovate Lungi airports and build other airports there where we will bring more revenue for the country and for the investors. That's I think a good the person there meet with, so that's a good thing for the country. If we get then airports, then they then standard the airports, then everybody they benefit. You understand? But for go take down, they for go put on a single bridge, 8 kilometers bridge, we put on there. How long will we able to get that money there? The math no actually work out correctly. But again, they will say there is nothing. So now this is not kind of a political gimmick number for us. Anyway, a lot of people they know. And in fact, we get 33,218 people that would listen me right now. Now the radio, not only the TV, now the radio. 33,218 people. So they will quite recording that people that don't hear you. Then when the YouTube video go out, then go hear you back say there's some people that just they try for instigate something. Let them see how it work, but they're not even get investors.
My brother, SLPP will do well. I am really, really proud of SLPP and I trust the government.
It's a way to SLPP they try for the Panista they try for Tewuso. They say that play cook APC in the past. And soon they talk about infrastructure development.
Yeah, now 2.1 billion.
300 million, 500 million. We have billions now they begin to wait. It's our first year. We don't throw 2 billion. We now wait for a willow and give we just say another year come. If we throw another billion, now we go collect. We go sit down.
They can't fly with oil.
right. Okay, so I thank you very much again. Good night.
Program.
We'll see you back next week, the same time, the same place on the
Amen.
Tpn TV and Radio Network.
Amen. Amen.